Hang on a second. Let me come over.
There you go. Okay, now it's live now.
Okay. What was it?
We didn't hit it.
Oh, you hit the second one? You didn't hit the second one?
He touched. We put it on.
Okay. Okay.
You didn't say nothing about no second one.
My fault, Rico. My fault, baby. My fault, Rico. Like shit, y'all just threw me in here. Hey, I wonder if Josh is watching.
We should talk about him.
Yeah, we should, and we will hit that go live button, please. Yeah. Should you see it at the bottom? Okay, we're good. All right.
3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. Today we are talking about the economy of the beauty industry and how the Trump tariffs will affect it. The hair and beauty industry. Today we got Tamika Turner, Chastity Monroe, and Melanie Salisbury. They are all leaders in the black beauty business in Memphis. So hit that subscribe button. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Yo, welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You are watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's go, baby. Hey, y'all, as we approach 7 million views, you know, in less than a year and a half, as we get there, you know, I want to say thank you to myself. I want to say thank you for all the work. I'm just kidding, man. Haitian, y'all accent became Haitian all of a sudden. Y'all hating, right? Y'all give it up for my lovely co-host Angelica Jelly Woods in the building. Let's go, baby. Ooh, look at it. She came in a good mood today. She did, man. She did. I think it's the quiet before the storm, though.
Yeah, probably.
I feel something coming on. Oh, I feel something coming on.
Beware. He said just might be Kojak.
Man. Y'all give it up for my DJ. That's my DJ. DJ Kojak in the building. Let's go, baby. DJ Kojak. Wait a minute. And Kojak provided the wings from where they come from.
He finally get an appropriate plug.
Where
the Hip Hop Lounge.
Yeah, what from the Hip Hop Lounge?
What's the address?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
721. Right.
Okay. Look, we gave him a bag though, right? All of a sudden now he providing lunch. Yeah. Man, he got the food budget. Right. Yeah, we got a couple things we're gonna make some adjustments on. But DJ Kojak, scratch it up for the superstar Chastity Monroe, who is in the building. Scratch it up 4 times and put a backspin on it too.
Oh Lord.
Man, he did it special for Chastity, man. So Chastity, let me ask you something. Did you hear that scratch?
I think so.
Oh, okay, we'll take that. Yeah, we'll take that. We heard it too. So Angelica's the only one for some weird reason that don't hear the scratch. I don't get it. You know, sometimes we have to turn her hearing aid up a little bit because for whatever reason.
Turn me into a liar.
For whatever reason, she does not hear it. Hey, y'all, listen, she is a superstar, and I'm incredibly proud of her. I think we got a little video. Rico, run that video.
Look at you.
Y'all, so I had to come up here because a lot of people don't know the story of why I started Pink Noir. And it really starts here. So I had just moved to Memphis, and long story short, the GPS was like, all right, this is your closest beauty supply store. This particular day, I had a Zoom call for work, and the salons weren't open, so sis had to figure it out on her own. And it brought me here. It brought me right here. It's raining cats and dogs outside. I just need to get my items. I actually go inside, and when I tell y'all, not only was it raining outside, it was raining inside. I think the icing on the cake for me was that there's someone very close to me who's like, I'm like asking, hey, can you help me find this, or what should I do about that? And they don't. There's a language barrier. They're literally just there to make sure that I'm not stealing. That was it for me. So ultimately, I decided this ends here. We have to have a place for Black women, a safe space. Not only a safe space, but a place where people can actually help you find the things that you need. And that really was the egg that, made Pink Noir what it is today. So thank you, Angel Beauty, for your inconveniences that you gave me that day that essentially brought me to bringing Pink Noir to fruition.
Yeah, man. Y'all give it up for Chastity Monroe in the building. Let's go.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, man, put that camera on Chastity, Rico. Look at it, man. Look at that shot, man. She is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, look at her. Look at her, man. I want to say, first of all, publicly, that I'm incredibly proud of you and what you're doing. It takes. I tell people, every one of us in here are entrepreneurs, right? And it takes a lot of courage to be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Because you're depending on your hustle, right? And that's it. That's how you eat. Don't hustle, don't eat, right? Right.
Yeah.
And your that video clip that we just ran, it spoke volumes as to your motivation and what we're talking about on this show, the economy of Black beauty, right?
Right.
And you mentioned that you there was a communication barrier, so we're uncut. You gave the veiled version of it to me, but we're uncut on the Antonio Parkinson project. One of the things that we talk about is, who is in control of Black hair, right? And who owns that industry for the most part. And the fact that, let me lay this out, let me set this up, because, and to everybody that's watching, y'all, please comment, please jump in the conversation, because this is an important conversation. You think about, the fact that we are in a city that is 72% African American, the blackest city in America,
crazy.
the blackest city in America. Yet there is only one Black beauty supply store in the blackest city in America.
People don't believe me when I say that.
Yeah, Chastity, make it make sense.
It doesn't. It can't make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. And again, there was a time when, we owned our industry, we did all the things, and then and now that it's not. So it's unfortunate, I think, especially because we know beauty supply stores are pillars in the Black community.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
And even though they are pillars, they're not giving back to the community in any way, shape, or form.
Well, and I'm glad you said that. There is a difference in how other cultures circulate money versus how we circulate money.
Absolutely.
Right. And so the Asian culture, their money, if I'm not mistaken, going back to Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson, shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. The Asian community circulates that dollar 6 times in their own community amongst each other before it comes out to the rest of the country. The Black dollar circulates one time. And one time, so that's not even a circle, right? So it goes from one hand and then out to other cultures and the rest of the world.
Right.
And that's incredibly sad and unfortunate, because that's the difference between building an industry vertically versus, trying to assimilate with the rest of the world.
But they're saying, like Trump, with the tariffs and things that's happening, that it's going to force us to have that community where we're going to have the own beauty supply shops, have our own gas stations. We do even own gas stations like that. It's more, I don't know. I don't want to guess the race, Jesus.
I got gas. I ain't got no gas stations.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's going to force us to build our own community, but you're already ahead of the game. I mean, but it's going to be, that's going to have to become because of Trump.
Well, is it or is it not? Because the raw materials still don't exist in the United States.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like it's an interesting paradigm and a scary and uncertain one, especially for someone like me in this industry, where the entire everything I have is a part of the international trade. Yeah. So it's very scary to
finally be able to penetrate the market and then for the game to change in this way.
Right. You know, interestingly enough, you know, I deal with the same thing with, you know, y'all, the best clothing company online, popularmail.com.
Okay.
Actually, this segment is sponsored by them. You want to get that gear, you know, hit them up, popularmail.com. but being that a lot of our inventory is sourced from China and other places, you know, and the Trump tariffs are hitting China, you know, the profit margin is almost erased in a lot of cases in a lot of products, right? And so how has that affected Pink Noir? In fact, we should shout out to Pink Noir if y'all hadn't had a chance.
Pink
go.
Noir.
Go and get that plug in there.
Yes,
Pink Noir.
Yes, we are again Memphis' only retail black-owned retail beauty supply store. There is a black-owned professional beauty supply store, so I want to make sure that that's out there. That's Essentials, Miss May.
Oh yeah, Miss May.
Yeah, she is bomb. But however, that is for professional stylists. And as we talk retail, which is different, that's like Cosmoprof, for instance, if you know what that is, that is for professionals. You usually need a license
to get them products. Right.
Retail is what I do, which is again for consumers, people who go to the Walmart, Targets, whatever. That's what we do. There's a difference.
And thank you for educating everyone on it. And, you know, I want to send a shout out to Miss May too, because I coached her sons in football, Jamie and all of them. I was their coach. Right, and they are original Raleigh residents, you know, right here from Northwood Hills. Yeah, so hey, shout out to Ms. May. Y'all originally from the capital of Memphis, right here in Raleigh, 38128 exit 8. Whoop! That's how we do.
What
right.
you say, Kojak?
Let me say this. You know, we bought up the tariffs, right? This is my question. I'm trying to find out with the tariffs, how does that change your pricing? You know, you say you're retail, right?
Right.
So who's going to eat it? You or the consumer? You're gonna pass it on to the consumer?
Well, I'll say this:
or you gonna split it?
If Amazon initially was saying they were going to show you what the tariff increase was, that's Amazon.
Step up to your mic too.
Do you think that if Amazon, I'm gonna read that, if Amazon said that they were going to show the price increase because of the tariffs, and that's a vehement. A small business like myself, there's no way that I'm going to be able to not pass at least a good percentage of that to the consumer. It's just impossible. Just from a cash flow perspective, in retail, the margins are already low. So for us to sustain, for us to do anything, you know, it's going to be impossible for us then to also take on those expenses. So yes. The consumer will see it, and it's not just going to be again in the beauty supply store. It's not going to be in your boutique. It's going to be at Target, at Walmart, at all of the places that you frequent, and the shelves are going to show that as well.
But you know, I'm not the greatest fan of Jeff Bezos, but I do I shop the shit out of Amazon, honestly, right? I'm you know, transparent moment, right, for convenience, right? But Jeff Bezos, when he said that, he stood up to Trump and said, man, look, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you, man. Your tariffs are trash because now it's going to cause all of these prices to go up on our platform. And somebody got to pay for this, right? So, and everybody has been telling Trump that tariffs are a tax on the people, right? It is not the folks that bring the stuff into America,
right?
You know, where you know that price is being, you know, is being elevated and it's being passed on, right? You know,
and unlike a Jeff Bezos or Amazon or whatever, you know, we don't have the cash flow to be able to. We have to pay that as soon as it crosses into the U.S. We have to pay that immediately,
right?
So we have to put that money up front, hoping that y'all are going to pay for it when we put it on the shelves.
Right. Hope it sells. Right.
Thanking.
Right. So this is an added expense. This is an added challenge to already being a black-owned business, a small business, a local business,
a woman.
So, you know, again, there's less than 5% of Black-owned beauty supply stores that exist in this country. So you're literally looking at not only decimating a pillar in the community, but you're decimating hope.
So how do you prepare for? Are you preparing for tariffs, or what does that look like?
I mean, at this point, it's almost like a doom and gloom. My suppliers are like, hurry up and buy, because it's like so much uncertainty. But then again, as a small business, having the cash flow to say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and try to stock up on these things prior to the tariffs hitting. You then have to make very like you got to make choices on. Okay, I'm gonna get this over this or this
Right.
over
Gotta
this,
be
and hope that it, to your
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
sells when it gets in. So
Right.
it is a conundrum,
And
to say the least.
The pushback from our people, speaking of a black-owned business,
Yeah.
you know, you can actually be right there in a store right across the street that's
Mhm.
not
Mm.
black on it. You know, you'll be
Man.
surprised how they choose to go to another whole
Yeah.
nother. I mean, just
Well, that's a habit change that we have to.
Cultural habit
Yeah,
change,
it is.
yes.
It's a cultural habit change, and we
Yeah.
believe innately that others are going to be better than us, and
Yeah.
that's
Right.
just something we
Damn.
got to get out of. And I will say though, the first time you see these price increases is going to come from your small businesses, your black-owned businesses,
Mhm.
because we don't have the massive inventory that a lot of other places have
Right.
to like kind of stave off. So it's going to come back up. People are going to be like, oh, she's too high,
Mhm.
or this, that, or the third, but it's business.
But you know what's interesting though is this. You know, you we were talking about who controls the industry, right?
Yeah.
And you know, if you go into these beauty supply stores, you know, it's Asians, right?
Yeah.
And but the killer part is, this just hit me, is that they are connected to their own networks. They might not get the pinch that we get, right? That you may receive, right? Because you know they're getting it from their cousins.
Yeah, but
Right.
I said, when they go a trip over there for 2
right.
weeks,
And
at
yeah, or they
time.
go over and right. And
Yep.
they like, hey, Kinfolk,
Yeah.
don't put that drop mine below the tariff price. Because here's the thing, here's what happened. America and all of its infinite foolishness decided that, hey, we'd rather send manufacturing overseas and pay for this cheap labor, right? And these sweatshops and let them do it. And it was the closest thing to slavery that they could find, because this is what this whole country was built on. Free labor and lazy ass motherfuckers that wanted
You
free
get kicked
labor,
off Facebook
right?
today.
Painkillers, right? And so
It's a drink. Tell them it's a drink.
but yeah, it's important. I think that people are educated on this, right? And now the chickens are coming home to roost, right? And so and again, interesting, right? You know, Trump is saying we're going to bring manufacturing back to America, but it's too late. That horse is out the gate, homie. You ain't gonna be able to put that horse back in the gate, because you want to chime on that? Yeah, jump in.
And it's like, for instance, I have my own 8-product hair care line, right? So manufacturing is something that, you know, I'm always looking into. But in as you think about innovation, the people that allow that are unfortunately the Chinese, because you get lower minimum order quantities, right? Meaning that I could maybe only get 500 of a product here, whereas literally a manufacturer here in this city, the minimum you can order is 10,000.
Dang, 10,000.
To get that price point.
Period.
You're right. Oh, period. We're not even for that
It's
price
not
point. Just
even
period.
about the price point.
Right.
Period. Now, mind you, I might not have 10,000 SKUs in my entire store,
Right.
and I have 8 products. So that
Right.
means for me to do that, to get my entire manufacturing, my entire line, that's 80,000 units that I would have to purchase, and I'm a retailer as well. So. That's not, there's no way that is feasible for a small business.
It's unrealistic.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
unrealistic.
it is. Yeah,
So
it
you
is.
stifle innovation.
Yeah.
So then it's only the players that have been there who are able to continue playing. So
yeah. You know, I've said, and Angelica was trying to steal it earlier, that you know, with she man, look, them Republicans up there in Nashville, they bill jack me all the time. They steal my bills, right?
I don't want them.
And now Angelica is stealing my quote, right? I'm glad it's on record that I said this 2 shows ago, that you know the beauty of this situation with Trump.
Everybody's saying that's all over social media. Please.
Let me say it again so I can clip myself. Let me say it again so I can clip myself. The beauty of everything that's going on under this new Trump administration is that it is going to force us back to community.
Yeah.
Right. And it's going to, you know, and I see it as the days of when it doesn't matter whose child it is, they can come over and eat at your house. Right. The days of if one person is dropping a kid off at school in the neighborhood, all the kids pile in the car. We're gonna drop them all off at once, right? The days of all of us going in, and this is how you mitigate the tariffs. Every black person that wants to buy beauty supplies needs to go to Pink Noir.
Turn up. Yeah.
Really, straight up.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and I think that's vitally important, right? And you let me say that again. Every black person, the 72% of African Americans in Memphis that need something for their hair that are non-professionals need to go to Pink Noir and spend their money, you know, with their people.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I'm coming next
You need to
week.
make a trip.
Yeah.
If
I'm
you're
coming
going
next
one, you need
week.
to make a trip.
Man,
Make
right.
a
And she in the
town.
center of the city.
Yeah, she is.
Right. It's not even the other side of
Yes.
town for anybody because it's in the
It's
center of the
literally
city.
in the center of the city.
Right,
Yeah.
And that
Midtown.
was done on purpose.
Right, come
Yeah.
on now. Come on now.
Yeah.
Method to that madness, right?
Yeah.
Right,
You know,
right.
and I will say this, and we talked about it earlier, just about circulating that dollar. You know, when you go to those other beauty supply stores, you might be able to get it a quarter cheaper, 10 cents cheaper, but they're not investing in our communities. They're not going to pay for, you know, the beauty camps. They're not going to pay for any of the things that the community needs. Like when people need something, they come to me. They don't go.
Yeah.
And if they go there, they will tell them we do not
Mm-hmm.
give. We do not give.
Right. That's
So,
crazy as hell, man.
you know, y'all
That's
got to
really
start
good,
thinking about that when you think about who you're spending your money with, because they're not going to do it. They're just not. And you talk about community, when us getting back to that, they're not going to contribute to that at all.
They're absolutely not. And they're going to talk about your toes while you're in there. And
You
don't
so
even know what the
long
hell
you
they talking
know
about.
him.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk about that in a segment away, right? You know, but you know, I do want to say, you know, first of all, thank you on behalf of every Black person in the city of Memphis. We truly appreciate you and your courage and your investment, you know, into our community. And I grew up in the hair business, so I grew up in the beauty business, and so I get it.
You've been coaches,
man. Look,
shooting at
everything.
schools,
I'm
now
telling
in
y'all
the
something,
beauty
man.
industry.
Yeah,
They did everything.
She been hating on me, man.
He done played the guitar, he done broke dance,
Hey, I
ran
got a life full of
track,
experiences.
was
Hey.
a whole little guy.
Let it rub off on you. You need some of this. But let me tell you this. Just some stories from back then, right? You know, I watched my mom go through cosmetology school, right? We were the guinea pigs, baby. I mean, every process that was available at the time, we had it. Kojak, back in the day, you know, Stay Soft Fro. Now, I'm going back, Chastity. You wasn't even around. When Chastity, you look like an 80s baby. So
I am an 80s
you're
baby.
80s baby, right?
Me too.
I wasn't going to ask you your age on the air, but back in the early 80s, Rico remember this shit. Back in the early 80s, you know, there was Stay Soft Fro. And there was this is pre-curl now, pre-curl.
They still sell that, don't
right.
They do.
Right, you got that on
That's
your shelf?
that helps.
They
No,
sell-
that helps with your braids, though. I'm sorry.
Wow, I didn't know we were
do.
still processing.
Yeah, it
Okay,
helps with your braids.
okay. So and then TCB jumped out there with the curl. With Jerry jumped out there with the curl first, and then TCB and so on and so forth. But watch this. Every one of them, me and my brother got tested on. Me and my brother Drag, man. And listen, the first ones, the first iterations of them, you had half nappy, half permed, half processed, right? You might have one. That's what they say. It didn't take, man. And look, you might have one wave in the front right here. That's it. Right. Everything else. Hey, look, there was a nappy explosion behind it, right? And you know, and then the curls came, and I watched my mom build this beauty salon, right? It was called the Curl Factory back in the day, Port Arthur, Texas, right? But here's where I was going with this. I remember when the Bronner brothers used to drive from Atlanta to bring my mom product. My mom was hot. She was hot. They used to literally drive from Atlanta to bring her product. Now watch this. This is something a lot of people don't know. The Bronner brothers also were in music. They had records, right? So when I was a DJ. I was a DJ in high school. So when the Bronner brothers, I mean, I met them, right? I knew them because they would come to our salon, right? And they would bring their records with them. So they had this. The Bronner brothers very innovative. They had since we're distributing hair products, right? We might as well distribute these records too.
That makes sense,
right?
Yeah.
And look, and that's what would happen. And you know, I remember all of the distributors back in the day in DeRidder, Louisiana. That was the regional for us, right? And those others. And I grew up in that business. I did hair. I thought I was gonna be behind the chair.
See what I mean?
I did.
Everything.
As a teenager, of course, I'm licensed, but my mom needed that partner that helped, right? Because we there was volume, right? And so I completely understand, you know, where you are and why you are and how important you are, you know, to you know, our community, and not just our community, but to the industry too, because industry people come in your
absolutely
your store too.
Yep. They do.
Yeah. Look at that smile, y'all. Look. So Chassie, what tell us this? What can people do to help to mitigate or absorb, you know, these Trump tariffs and still, you know, spend money with you, but save money also at the same time?
I mean, number one, you hit the nail on the head. Please shop black as much as you possibly can. Because,
I'm talking about specifically with Pink Noir though.
Well, after you come here and shop, number one, I need y'all to just let me know what it is that you're looking for, what you need, right? Because we're used to a certain volume. Now, we did see an increase with DEI and Target and all of that, right? And so, which was great, but then there's a disappointment when people come to the shelves and maybe they're empty, right? But if we're used to a certain amount of volume, then it just takes time for that to kind of catch up. So with the tariffs, with all of these things, just have some patience
and some grace.
So if we don't have it, we will
get it. Right. We will get it. Just let us know. Don't count us out. But I want people to understand that this is not just a Pink Noir issue, a small business issue. This is going to be an issue across the board. It's bigger than beauty products. It's bigger than clothes. They're going to be empty shelves. There's going to be this thing, but I need everybody to understand that this too shall pass. But stick with us. Just let us know. Give us the feedback, and we're there. We're here for y'all. So it's more than anything giving us grace and just letting us know what it is that your needs are. Okay.
And before we get out of here, Coach, you had something, Coach? Well, we got comments. You watching the comments too, Rico? Yeah, comments. They want to know where your store is.
Oh, sure.
Well, before you do that, let me tease them a little bit more.
Yeah.
So you're not just a beauty supply retailer.
Right.
You do more in that store than beauty supply retail. And if y'all have not had a chance to visit that store, y'all got to come in because it's sexy.
So nice.
It's
really
sexy.
nice.
It's a sexy
is.
Beauty supply store, right? So what else goes on in there?
Yeah, so we always like to leave with, we have pink couches, chandeliers. It is an experience, and we did this because we felt like we deserve a shoppable experience, right? One that's like a Neiman Marcus level. That is what we aspire to give. That's affordable and accessible, right? So we have esthetician services, facials, waxing. We have makeup services. We have Hollywood lit vanities where we actually let you try on your wigs, because sometimes the people don't want y'all to try. They just asking y'all to buy without even trying them on. So we give beauty advisor services. So if you really don't know what you need, we got people in there, trained cosmetologists that can help you. Okay,
and we can understand you when you say no
we
language.
have educational seminars, Wine Down Wednesdays, Champagne Saturdays, every week. Every week. It is an experience, and we double down on featuring black and brown owned brands. So you will always find a depth and breadth of those products that you will not find anywhere else.
That's awesome. Man. I'm ready to go right now. I'm ready to get off the air.
That's incredible. But let me ask you this too. I know I'm gonna give you a little more time on this. I know, Angelica, y'all give us some grace because we gotta celebrate this sister. Who is your client?
Yeah,
call them out so they know who they are.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
I'll get in trouble.
Don't say everybody, because everybody ain't your client.
It ain't everybody. Okay. I ain't gonna say that.
Okay.
I ain't gonna say that.
Right.
Now, we actually have a name for our client. Her name is Sloan. Sloan is her name.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a little profile.
Man, come on. Profile Sloan.
Is a mid-level sales executive. She lives, in Midtown, downtown Memphis. She loves the whole Black girl in luxury experience. She is a savvy investor. She is all about legacy, wealth building, and she wants the finest things. And so that is what Pink Noir is here for. It is for those women that, want to have an experience, want to not come into a junky environment. They want to be, feel like they're in a safe space, a safe haven. They want education, but they also want the best, which is why we have our own raw Indian hair extensions that are the best of the best of the best. Okay, so everything in Pink Noir is top of the line. So if you're the girl who likes a Neiman Marcus, a Saks experience, you're gonna like the Pink Noir experience, and that's just what it is.
Okay,
Oh,
then. You
that's
better
what I'm talking
you better
about.
sell, shoot.
Look.
You better sell, please.
That
I
was
seen
a
it.
And
setup
listen,
question.
there's aspiration in this. That's
Uh-huh.
not to say everybody is there, but there is a Sloan in everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Sloan in terms of wanting to have those, things that are accessible. You might not necessarily be able to afford a Hermes bag, a Gucci bag, but you can afford, the things at Pink Noir that are still high quality and luxury. And that's what
Man, look, hold on, man. Look, see,
You better sell.
man, she's selling the shit out this shit.
I'm ready to go right now. Just got the bag
Man,
ready.
listen.
Look, he ready to go.
But look, this is another thing I got out of there for those men, right? The men. Come on now.
Mother's Day coming up.
Listen,
Mother's Day coming
I
up
ain't even
too.
talking about that. I ain't even going there. I'm just thinking
Whatever.
about, look, Sloan sounds sexy as a motherfucker.
Oh God,
Right?
you
And
always
and
gotta
so,
go left.
Look, hey, but you think about Kojak. Okay, Kojak.
Catch him coming out. Catch him coming
You think
out.
about this, Kojak. Hey, Rico, me and Kojak.
Don't
right
get in
now.
trouble, Kojak.
You think about this, Kojak. If you're a single man, where is
God.
nobody's ever thought about the fact that if you go to the beauty supply store, shit, that's where they're at.
Shoot, not all of them, baby. You gonna catch bottoms on
Hey,
high
hey,
shoes,
but
right?
I'ma tell
You might catch some of that too.
Well,
No,
hey, look,
But I do think there's something to that. It's
Yeah,
the
something
equivalent
to
of
that.
going to Home Depot for a good man.
Right.
You go to Home
That's
Depot
the
for a
man's
good
Walmart.
man.
That's the men's Walmart.
You gonna find a man at Home
Right.
Depot.
For the man,
Right.
yes.
Right.
Because
Hey.
he in there, he building things. He
Right.
got, you
He in there,
Look,
he
got
in
a
there
little
confused
couple
on
calluses,
YouTube
got a
University.
couple calluses on his hands, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Listen, if I was single, that's where I would be.
You go to Home
Right.
Looking cute at Home Depot.
Lost
and-
and confused.
You got the
You help me?
contractors there. You got
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
know.
Folks
builders.
making money, right?
Yeah.
Look, Jess said, yeah.
At least they can fix something for you.
Hey, Kojak, I think I'm on to something, Kojak, because
Oh Lord,
and look,
they're
and
gonna be
here- and
outside
here-
your store.
Kojak, and here's the
They're
thing
gonna be
too.
outside your store.
You don't. I'd rather meet you in your base space.
Yes,
Right.
people.
I don't want to see you glammed up.
That's
I'm not a big
true.
glam up person anyway, right?
Yeah.
I want to give me the regular
Be the
degular,
ugly
right?
version.
And meet
That's
them
a
in their
good
base
point.
space. And if you like them in their base space, imagine how you gonna feel when you see them glammed
That's
up.
true.
That's true.
Come on, baby. Come on now. I'm
That's
speaking to
true.
somebody.
Come on.
Look,
I'm
he
talking to
ready. He
somebody.
gonna be outside your
Look.
And
shop
I'ma
tomorrow.
tell you, if a man is in a beauty supply store, that also means he has a certain level of care for himself. So he's not just getting a little head and shoulders. Like he
Right.
actually might be getting some beard product.
Let me tell my husband to stay out the beauty supply
I'm
store.
just saying,
Yeah,
there's some
hey.
Stay up. I'm
the
just joking
men
with
who
you.
come in there and they
That's where he
frequent
go
us,
shop.
They
Beauty supply.
take very good care of
Hey,
themselves.
man, I
Yeah.
just do
Yeah.
rag.
That's
Yeah, man.
That's where he go.
Listen, and Pink Noir literally is a space just for that, to convene, to literally let your hair down. That's why we have
Breathe.
these wind down.
Just
Yes,
breathe.
to
Just breathe.
Yeah.
Just to
Right.
be.
Just
right?
just to be.
And
Just to
so
be.
that's why we have it in the way that it is. It's tons of seating areas.
Mhm.
It
It's
is.
just very communal because
Yeah.
that's what we want to be for the community.
That is an incredible formula.
It is.
Real
It was
talk.
carefully thought out.
That
you can
is
tell.
an incredible
thought out.
formula.
You on there.
Yeah. So listen, we're excited about you,
Yes.
and ain't no
Thank
tariffs
you.
gonna stop this.
No.
Right, because we're
We're gonna
about
make
to
sure
beef
she
this thing
stay.
up.
Okay.
And I can't wait for these clips to drop because I am so hell bent on
Yes.
us owning our own shit. And when I
Yes.
say our own shit, I'm talking about our hair. that
Parkinson, we need to
grows
go
out of our
live
head.
over there. She got the perfect set for us to go live.
And should.
Yes. Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. It's a cute setup.
I'm side-eyeing you.
I'm
You already told her
So,
that? You already
look,
said that to her?
Hey, wait, look, but
The-
that's
The doors of Pink Noir.
Right,
It's a
right,
cute
right,
setup.
right.
She already
Yeah,
put chairs
right.
and
There-
everything.
There's a yeah.
Uh-huh.
But you, okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Oh, what happened?
uh-huh. Yeah, because we're having all this conversation about black folks and black folks and black folks.
Oh,
all right, let's go.
that's the drink.
Let's
Let's go,
go.
Parkinson.
Right. We're bringing the painkillers with us.
Uh-uh.
Period. Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Point
know,
taken.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah. But Chastity Monroe, name with like a superstar, Chastity Monroe. You know, hey, we love you. We're proud of you.
Thank
we
you.
truly appreciate you,
Thank
and
you.
we are all the way in with you.
Yes,
So,
I'm
Thank you
coming.
for
so
having
yeah,
me.
we're gonna make this shit work. And
All right.
we got something. What you got, Rico?
She got to give
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yes,
test
it is 152 North Avalon in Midtown Memphis. If you know Midtown, it's the home. I mean, I'm sorry, it's the shopping center where the Home Depot is,
and Planet Fitness.
right next to Planet Fitness.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about online? Can they get you
Yeah,
online too?
pinknoir.com, pinknoire.com, and we are on all social media handles. Pink PINK_NOIRE.
Oh yeah. And I got some men in the comments that's saliving over Chastity right now. Too,
No.
I'm gonna leave that alone. Yeah. But
Well,
hey,
we married now.
You better let them know.
Because look, I was gonna say, I hit y'all back after the show. Right. Yeah, y'all give it up for Chastity Monroe in the building, baby. Yeah. Let's celebrate this black business, man.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for being with us. We
Thank
truly
you.
appreciate you. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. Hit that subscribe button. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
That was
Great
so
job.
good.
Great job.
Chas, can I say this? Every time I see you, can I say what I gotta say while you're here, baby?
Please.
Every time I see you, always beautiful outside and
to me,
inside. You always
Get to me,
consistent.
Pink.
A lot of people
15 seconds. 15 seconds.
me.
Thank you.
Hey, don't go anywhere.
Yeah,
Watch
thank
the
you.
rest of it.
Make sure you tell this is my
This
idea.
was the
Thank you.
7 seconds.
We all
5 seconds.
What? Who we looking at?
1.
Oh God.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You are
Yes.
watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Today, yeah, we can clap for that. Come on, Angelica. Hey, go to Kojak. Clap. Damn. Where the hell is Kojak, Angelica?
One job.
We got one job on.
Barely can do that.
Is this the segment that he goes to the bathroom in,
Yeah,
Angelica?
you know, he got
Damn.
bubble guts right about now. Segment
Damn.
2 is bubble guts.
Oh my goodness.
He said, "Come on, they
Oh,
checking
my
me."
goodness.
Look. No.
Come on over here, Tamika. Look.
He said, no.
Look. Oh, Lord have mercy.
We're gonna drop it down. Yeah, that's fine. Drop it down.
Now I can go to the bathroom.
Really, Kojak?
Let me drop this camera a little bit.
I would say just a little bit.
Yeah, a lot actually.
No.
I think you hater. Don't be talking about her height.
Oh,
It was
kids,
just
watching
right.
this.
5'5" with brown eyes.
Man, listen. Let me redo that intro again. Okay, y'all. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's go, baby. And this is why. This is why, right? Yeah, we are here celebrating us. Y'all give it up for my lovely co-host Angelica Jelly Woods in the building. Let's go, baby. With a mouthful of wings.
Listen,
And a
them
painkiller.
lemon peppers. No, I have Mountain Dew.
No,
Them lemon peppers from Hip Hop Lounge, they good, Kojak. I don't know.
Thank you.
Oh,
Let 'em know.
boy.
Let 'em
He
know.
seasoned
Let 'em
them just
know.
right, okay?
Oh,
Yes, y'all. I'm
boy.
serious now.
Man.
Let them know. Let them know,
5721
Kojak.
Raleigh Grange Hip Hop Lounge. Y'all order y'all wings. I ain't had a
Them
wing
lemon
yet.
peppers good, though. I'm trying. I'm
And
gonna let you about the rest.
Angelica been in here tearing the
Yeah, I'm
wings up. I ain't had a
hungry.
wing yet. Man, but
You be
look,
alright.
y'all give it up for my DJ who actually prepared the wings. That's DJ Kojak in the building. That's my
Okay,
DJ.
DJ, you get a
Let's
clap
go.
that for me this time.
Yeah, baby. Hey, Kojak, we got a new guest in the studio today. You know, step up to your mic, new guest. Don't go to her yet, Rico. But Kojak, I need you to scratch it up 4 times with the backspin because she is the first. She has a first, and we'll announce that as soon as you finish that scratch. Scratch it up for DJ Kojak. Let's see. Backspin. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I love you.
Y'all. Let me ask you before I introduce you. Let me ask you this.
It's a lot of before.
Yeah, I know it is. It is.
Right.
But did you hear that scratch?
I did.
Oh, yo, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, we 2 for 2. We 2 for 2.
A lot of lying going on.
2
here,
for
baby.
2. We 2 for 2. I heard the scratch too. Angelica never hears the scratch. I don't
I'm
understand
a
what's going on with her.
Come on,
Yeah,
I'm gonna clean my ears out.
yeah. I think she has iPhone earbuds in her ear, and
Whatever.
they don't.
got the silences on.
For some reason she don't hear scratch. Y'all give it up for Tamika Turner in the building. Let's go, baby. Yes, indeed. She now let me set this up properly. Tamika Turner is a history maker.
Hello.
She made history in the state of Tennessee. She is the first
Say that.
natural hair care school in the entire state of
Yes.
Tennessee. Let's go, baby. Give it up for that. Black girl history. Yeah. Look, hey, Tamika, we are incredibly honored to have you on the show. It's about damn time. Look, shit.
I'm honored to be here.
Right. Well,
Thank
and thank you so much. You know, today we're talking about the economy of black hair, right?
Mhm.
And everything that's going on, and before we jump into your interview, I think we got a little video.
No, I think there's something that happened online. Somebody was lying online.
Wait a minute. Oh.
Yeah, I
okay.
think we gotta address this.
Okay, we gotta address that first.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, you're right. Okay.
Yeah,
Tamika, before we jump into your interview,
Yeah,
we have to address a lie. And this,
alive.
and this speaks to
voice.
right.
The
The lion voice of the hood, right? The lion voice of the hood. Rico, run that video because I gotta say something about this.
That's the mayor of Memphis, man. I know that man wish he didn't have that job. But today in a press conference, that man said that Memphis is out of motherfucking control, and now he need help, man. He said he on petition the governor to declare a national emergency in Memphis because they don't got enough police to police the streets, man. They said that in 20 years, they never had so many police walk off the job and turn their badge in and say, man, they can't fuck with this shit, man. This man literally told the people and the reporters in there that Memphis got so many robberies and killings that he said he even reported, man. He said they got more homicides than they ever had in history at the beginning of this year that they don't had in a whole year in the past, man. And the summer ain't even started. He said he hate to see his city go down the drain, and he said he trying to do everything he can to prevent that, man. He said he begging the world to come in and step in and send a National Guard army down there, man. Because he ain't got no police to police the streets because them folks scared of them young motherfuckers in them streets, man. I'm going to say it, and I hope Donald J. Trump and a whole bunch of people, the DOJ, and a lot of motherfuckers listen, because there's a lot of innocent people in Memphis they can't live their life because them young motherfuckers running around with AK-47s robbing and carjacking folks, man. Y'all need to put a fence up around Memphis and put them folks on a pandemic lockdown and go door to door and get them guns up off them streets, man. I said again, y'all need to start punishing them nutting-ass motherfuckers that go in chicken places and kill motherfuckers about a two-piece wing and make sure them folks don't never see the streets again.
Man, hey, Kojak, a lie don't care who tell it.
Come on,
Man, listen. I got several phone calls about this video, and that's why we had to make sure we covered this in the show today, because that was my press conference that he was talking about.
I was there.
You were there, Angelica. And all of this talk about the National Guard and and this other stuff that dude was mentioning. I don't know who dude is, but something I had, individuals sending, a question to my inbox, say, hey, is this true? Right. And I'm like, what? That was my press conference. In that press conference, we talked about the legislation for nuisance businesses, right? We talked about, but it wasn't shit said in there about bringing the damn National Guard.
None of that stuff.
And I can tell you emphatically, Mayor Paul Young is not bringing the National Guard here, right? And so that is a bold-faced lie. And the only reason I'm even saying something about it, because motherfucker, you got my picture on there. You got my picture on there. And you said at a press conference. That was my press conference. And so you sitting there lying. So I'm going to green screen his ass, and let everybody know that, bro, you lying. I mean, and you man, I don't understand. And maybe because it's too vast right now, when these people, like you were looking at all the stuff that was being said about, Young Dolph and about, well, they actually solved the case, though. I ain't gonna lie. Right. I was gonna say, but some of them was still true. The streets wasn't the street.
We through a lot of crazy.
Yeah, you did. But I don't understand how people get away with, just blatantly lying. Now, here on our show, we always say our source, according to this, that, and other, NBC News or whoever it is, this is what's being said. But I don't understand how I'm listening to this and it sounds so far-fetched, right? Yeah, and we know we're dealing with a crime issue and we are, working to fight that crime issue and deal with it, right? But it wasn't no talk about calling no National Guard and all of this and Mayor Paul Young begging folks, right? And begging Trump and all this craziness. Yeah. That shit didn't happen. Hey, y'all, listen. So for the record, That's a lie. Don't listen. I don't know who this dude is. He just flat out lying. That was my press conference, and I know for a fact that none of that stuff was said. And if you want to see the full press conference, it's on our page, and we'll put it up on the Antonio Parkinson Project social media platforms also, so y'all can see for yourself that dude is a lie, and he has zero credibility. And I'm sure he doesn't live in Memphis either. Right? Yep. Yep. Now,
Get that out the way.
Got that out the way. Yeah, got that out the way. And I think it's vitally important. You know, speaking of, you know, if we're gonna be having these conversations, if people are gonna be out there on social media, you know, talking about what's happening in Black communities, Black cities, we need to be honest in those conversations, because you are having an effect on Black businesses when you say that dumb stuff. Right. And for the record, also, crime has an effect on Black businesses too. And that's why we passed that legislation to get rid of those businesses. A lot of them don't come from our community,
Right.
that affect the Black businesses that are in our community.
Yeah.
I'll think about that. Wink, wink. Right. Yeah. So it ain't the Black-owned gas stations that are selling the ski masks,
Right.
the shiesty masks, right? It ain't the Black-owned gas stations that are selling the AK-47 pendants, you know, and selling and making all of their money off of selling blunt papers and weed wraps and
ski masks
and cigars
and ski masks.
Yeah. And no disrespect to all you Black and mild smoking women.
Oh my God, I must just throw you away.
Man, look, I love y'all too.
Well, speaking of lying, Donald Trump.
Oh yeah. Speaking of a line, speaking of somebody lying, right? Donald Trump and these tariffs. Thank you for bringing us back in, right?
Ooh,
Donald Trump, right? You know, and let's talk about this too, right? You know, I just learned, you know, a couple of days ago that, you know, the countries that are exempted from the tariffs,
Come on now.
right? Now, yeah.
Who knew?
The countries that are exempted from the Donald J. Trump tariffs are
his middle initial.
Russia,
His boy.
Russia's main ally that sits to the north of Ukraine, Belarus. Trump's other idol, Kim Jong Kim Jong. They got the same middle name, I think. Right? North Korea, and our neighbors to the south, Russian allies, Cuba. Those are the countries that are exempted from the Trump tariffs. And what's interesting about that, because Russia was exempted from Trump tariffs, it has made, from what I read, it has made the Russian ruble, which is their money, the most powerful monetary vehicle in the world today. Right. So you remember how strong the US dollar is, right? Well, the Russian ruble is the strongest currency in the world today, because they are the only ones that are not dealing with these Trump tariffs.
All planned. It was all planned. So it's nothing.
Yeah. And crazy. But look, let's go back to the history maker, right? The history maker. Hey, so somebody's asking too, Madam History Maker Tamika Turner, aka the owner of the first natural hair school in the state of Tennessee. They said, shit, with these tariffs, how much these braids gonna cost?
They've been costing before the tariff.
They sure
Okay.
do.
But yeah, thank y'all for having me. Definitely the cost of living before all of this was already astronomical, right? And people look to us as hairstylists like we're not supposed to go up on our prices.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, haircut is shit.
We just talked about that.
We're paying $50 for a haircut minimum, right?
Yeah.
$50 for a haircut.
They crazy. My husband charge that. But go ahead.
Right.
So when I look, but when I run into other stylists that aren't charging market rate, like I have a conversation with them about that, because you're coming in under the market rate. That's a disservice to you, your family, you know, and you'll try to figure out other ways to bring in income, but by not, you know, getting in the market within the market rate. And but most people just don't know how to charge. And that's one of our number one things that we do at the Institute of Beauty. We teach them not only the skill, but how to turn it into a business.
I remember this conversation because, my daughter, Kirsten, the celebrity stylist. Right? She is a graduate of the Institute of Beauty, licensed from the age of 16. Shout out to that. We're making professionals as teenagers.
Yes.
And she was charging her rates were so cheap, and Tamika used to get on her about her rates. Right. Tamika, tell me.
Yeah.
And look, I hope she's watching too.
Yeah, she was charging the kitty prices. And so when we were talking to her about going up on her prices, she was like, no, my friends are not going to come. I said, well, your teachers are.
Yeah.
And so not only did she start servicing adults, but her friends still came as well because these kids are getting money these days.
So I have a question about that. What about people who are charging? It's not on topic. Who are charging and their skill sets not matching their pricing? Because there's a lot of people who feel like they can charge $300 or $200 because that's how much somebody from your institute who may graduate and have the skill set, and it ain't matching.
And
the
so
price
we
ain't
do
matching.
talk to our students about that. Like, hey, this is the entry. Like you start here, you can't look at me.
Thank you.
As far as these deposits, right?
Yeah.
So that's another issue that we have.
Yeah.
People, the stylists are charging $20 and $25 for a deposit, and I'm like, do you know how fast I will forget about that $25?
Yeah. It's easy.
I'm looking for the $300, right? So if you require $25 for your time, you've blocked out this amount of time for me, 6 to 8 hours for me, but you only charging $25. I don't care about $25.
Yeah.
So we get them to charge 50% up front. And we talked to Kirsten's clients about it because she didn't want to do that, which we understand. She's the youngest in the salon. And so we talked to her clients about it with her, and they said, well, it really does, makes it better for me because if I pay 50% when I'm booking, by the time I'm coming, not number one, I'm coming, okay? But number two, it's not as much out of my weekly or bi-weekly check because I've already put a deposit in. And so they like that better.
Yeah.
Now, as for me in my house, I charge 100% up front.
I heard that. You better
get that.
I need it up front.
Right. And so, but I tell them you can't come in like that because you haven't built a rapport with your clients. You don't have a base of clients where they trust you enough to pay you 100% up front.
Well, speaking of pricing, are you going to potentially put in your curriculum or your conversation or training, or whatever you want to call it, as far as tariffs? Like, how can they pivot, or how can they prepare for tariffs? How do you have this conversation with your clients saying, I charge this much. You ready for this conversation? It was a smile for me.
I'm
glad you asked. I'm glad you asked.
Started in this industry.
I know that's not my question. Sorry.
However,
before you answer that, don't forget what you answer. But how long have you been in the industry? So qualify that with your answer.
Yes. Okay. So I have been doing hair just like most Black people all my life. Okay. All my life I had to braid. So my mom braided hair at home. And so I watched her, and that's how I learned how to do hair. And then in high school, everybody, including my mom, wanted me to go to beauty school after high school. And I was like, no, I'm going to be an attorney. I'm going to drive a green Jaguar, and I'm going to live in Harbortown.
You knew the color.
Already, right? This was the plan. And then once I did all the teachers' hair, I did my principal hair, my cheerleader squad. We all did each other's hair. Doing people hair on the weekend, just doing it just because I could, because it was a hobby. And so years later, when I actually do graduate and it's time to go to college, I was like, I don't want to go to college. I want to go to hair school. And so my mom took me back then, Tennessee Academy, where that Plaza, all of those schools were the schools to go to, but they all had waiting lists. And so my mom said, go to college while you're on the waiting list. Go ahead and go to college. By the time you finish, you can go to whatever school you want to go to. And I wasn't buying it. My mama know her child. I went to Lemoyne on. My mama dropped me off at the front gate every day. She would not let me move on campus because she said I was not going to go. Right. And so I cried my first semester every day because I was embarrassed walking from the front of Lemoyne on all the way
Oh wow.
to the student center. And so I stopped crying. I moved on campus and I snuck to hair school at night.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I would do the athletes at the school. I would do their hair. I was selling plates. I know my grandma has a restaurant.
Hustler.
Yep.
Shout
Selling
out that
plates.
restaurant.
Yep.
Let
Shout
them know
out
who you
to
are, baby.
Miss Girlies.
Oh,
Also
okay.
known as Melanie Soul Food.
Go on and plug
40
the family.
years,
Let them
yeah.
know your last name.
So
and
did
let
you
them
get
know
that
where you come
cooking?
from.
You get the cooking
Let
from her
'em-
too?
let-
Yes.
Oh,
let 'em-
girl,
let them know the
cooking
royalty you
and
come from.
doing
Shout out
honey.
the family name. Let them know.
Yes, yes, I am the granddaughter of Jimmy and Richard Leach. My grandfather was one of the 1968 sanitation strikers.
Okay,
Yeah.
We
girl.
come from legacy, a
Okay.
long line of
Yes.
entrepreneurs and
Oh, this
legacy
ain't nothing new,
builders.
okay? This
No.
ain't new to y'all.
But you
please.
know, you don't think about that growing up because it's just you just
Normal.
in the house.
Yeah,
Like
it's
this
normal.
what we do.
Mhm.
And so to look at it now, but I was selling them plates and going to hair school at night for $1 an hour. And I got to hair school, y'all, and I hated it.
Oh, that's interesting.
I hated it because I didn't want to do the work. I wanted to do hair. I don't want to read a
Oh,
book.
yeah.
Same thing my students tell me now. I ain't
Same
got time to
thing
read.
today.
Yes.
Yes, seeing
And
yourself
so-
all
But you
over.
been in the
Yes.
shoes. In those
Yeah.
shoes.
Mhm.
So with all of that, I left cosmetology school. I went to barber school because I didn't know anything
Mhm.
about barbering.
Mhm.
So I'm a barber by trade.
Right.
I've been in this industry as an adult for 25 years.
Wow.
25 years in January.
goodness.
Professionally, I have been in this industry 19 years.
Right.
So when a student try to tell me, you just don't understand, I've been on every
right.
side of this
Yeah.
industry.
Right.
I opened my first shop before I had a license.
Right.
Oh,
And what
wow.
was the name of the shop?
The
Total experience. Right. I still got that under her
Yeah.
name. Under her name. Yeah.
The total
Yeah.
experience. Yes.
Yeah. But you've also, y'all. She minimizes shit, right? And I don't let her do it. But you've also been given a nod by the governor of the state of Tennessee to do what?
I am the state representative for cosmetology schools.
That's
Right,
awesome.
right.
Shit, okay.
Yes, she is on the board of cosmetology
Yeah.
and
Awesome.
barber examiners.
Yes.
That's like the formal title for it. So she's a pretty important person. Now, what are the duties in that? What is that comprised of? What do you have to do with it?
You just
So
skipped our tier of questions.
I
and
know.
everything. It's okay.
the duties of the board is to when Representative Parkinson when they create laws, we create the rules to the laws.
Okay, for the
Yes,
hair.
Yes.
Okay, that
So,
makes sense.
When they passed the bill to have natural hair schools, this was before I was on the board. The board then set the rubrics for how schools are to perform.
Do you guys check and make sure they follow, or
Yeah.
also and lay
So-
down a law on them or whatever?
They used to be harder than they are now, and
Mhm.
so I'm like, hey, we slacking. What we doing? We slacking in here,
Yeah.
but they do. We have inspectors that go to salons and barbershops, not only commercial buildings, but they go to people's homes as well.
Oh wow.
Yes. So if you are at home doing hair and you get a complaint and they give your address, they're going to come to your house.
What about you going there? Somebody ain't got no license. They can
They can get in trouble. Yeah.
Oh, so you like the police, the hair police.
Basically, yeah. But we have an attorney and all of
Mhm.
that. So they deal with a lot of those things before they get to us. But we do, we hear the cases, they tell us, they don't tell us the person's name or
Mhm.
whatever. They just give us the situation, and the situation, there are already rules or penalties set for each thing, how many warnings they get, all of that. And there have been situations like the young lady that was waxing and had her daughter waxing.
Oh yeah, we talked
Yeah,
about that.
Yeah, her license were revoked.
Oh wow, we talked about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and she's
God.
still in legal trouble now because that was considered criminal.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. We're gonna go back to the tariff question.
Yes.
How do you prepare your
Yes.
students for a possible tariff? No, it's gonna happen. So
Yeah, oh,
how are you
definitely.
preparing them? What kind of conversation are you guys having?
So before all of this with Trump and the tariffs, there's a formula that we go by.
Mhm.
And so it's not just, I can do small boho braids to your calf muscle, and I'm gonna charge $800.
Mm-hmm.
No, like you have to. What is your hourly rate?
Mm-hmm.
How long is it going to take you for this service? Do you provide the hair? Where are you located? All of these things go into that, right? And you have to look at your booth rent. If you're a booth renter, you have to look at your booth rent. Or if you are a suite owner or a salon owner, all of those things go into play before setting a price. So where you may be in Hickory Hill, you may charge $250. Kirsten is in Bartlett, she may charge $500.
Oh Lord.
Get that bag, Kirsten.
Yeah.
Get that bag, Kirsten Parkinson. Get that bag.
She's
Get that bag.
definitely charging, okay.
They're flying in. They fly in, literally fly in from out of the state to get their hair done with Kirsten Parkinson. She was trained by the Institute of Beauty. So if you want your child to get that bag, mamas, start them early, like I started mine, while they're in high school, because you're in the high schools, right?
We are.
Come on, let's talk about
it. I get the bag secure and how to keep it. It's different to get the bag. Keep the bag,
and
please.
That's another thing that we teach them, because they do this as a skill, like they can do it, right? So it's fun to them, like that they can braid these braids all the way down to the floor and all that. That's fun to them. But then you ask them how much they charge, and they say, $120. Eventually they get tired because the money and the time don't add up.
They match them, man.
And so when it don't match, it's like, okay, I'll go work at McDonald's. Or I'll go work at the beauty supply, like the Asian supply stores and things like that. And when if I have to go in the Asian supply store and I see one of my black sisters, I be like, come here, baby. You got your license?
Everybody need one of you. Lord.
Okay. And they be like, well, no, ma'am, I want to go to school. I get them my information. And if we can help them with their tuition, we provide the resource for them. But they have to want to do it. But yeah, so to answer your question, it's a formula that we already have. So when these things happen, your products go up, you have to go up. And we teach them, we don't use just any product. We use professional brand products. So
speaking of running into students and possible students, have you seen a decline in tuition? I mean, people enrolling because of possible tariffs or no?
So when we increased our tuition, we did see a decrease in our enrollment, but we got a better student.
Okay. So
it makes the job easier because you have people that are interested and they want it versus having to pump and prime them every single day and things like that.
They're like more invested because if you're gonna spend the money, you're gonna be invested.
So as we're preparing now for our summer intensive, that's something that Representative Parkinson and I
look at you ready. That's why your mouth full. Okay. That's why you can't say nothing. Your mouth full. Thank you. Look, he gonna record that. Look. That's what I said.
But yeah, so we came up with this high school summer intensive where because they can be 16 years of age, past the 10th grade, they can get their license.
Wow.
And so we're now preparing, and that's when Kirsten came in, and it was a whole bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds. I'm like, why, Lord, why do you have me here with these children? But I love it. I love it. And then those girls from that class, they're still now those that weren't ready. They're 18 now. Miss Tamika, I just passed my test, and we're excited about that. We put them in our partnering salons. We wait
a minute. Don't walk past it. Talk about that.
Yeah.
Walk through that slowly so people understand.
So when the student comes to our school, they don't just come to school, pay their money, and they graduate. Like throughout the process, we teach them how to build a rapport with our salon partners. They have to go and do salon shadow days. Our number one salon partner is a Natural Affair Beauty Salon, Beauty Lounge. We have sent numerous students that are still there now as licensed professionals that have been there 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, as long as we've been open. And so we have bridged that gap between classroom and salon, because a lot of times that's where they, like, outside of the classroom, if they're not reared in the right direction, it remains a hobby.
Okay, let me translate what she's saying.
Yeah.
So when we passed the law to allow for freestanding natural hair schools, right?
Mhm.
Because before that, you had to go to a full cosmetology school
Yes.
to become a licensed natural hair stylist. That full cosmetology school was 1,500 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The industry was shifting to natural hair. So we broke up the monopoly of the large cosmetology school owners by allowing for freestanding schools for natural hair, aesthetics, and manicuring first.
Mm-hmm.
And along with that, we said you can also offer an apprenticeship model at your school if you so choose, that will allow the students to do half of their school hours, required hours in the classroom, get their theory, pass their theory test, and then the other half actually in a salon,
Yes.
getting real world experience and building a clientele and getting paid so they can pay for the school, right? And then go and take your final portion of your state board, the practical portion of your state board exam.
Yes.
And she Tamika and Institute of Beauty was the first school. Number one, it was the first natural hair school in the state, but they took the apprenticeship model and ran with it.
Yeah.
And so those partners that she's talking about are the ones that once these students, are through it with the first half of their hours, the theory portion and the book portion of the school, they go into the salons and they go to work.
Yeah.
Right. And they and the beauty of it is it's a mentorship program, believe it or not, right? Because there is an experienced stylist that is watching over them, helping them the rest of the way with the practical experience, and they can make money before they come out of school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a big
Is that what you
help.
were trying to say?
That's exactly what I said.
That's what you
Right,
said.
right.
That's what you said. He think he can just say it, but that's what you said. That's what I heard.
Right.
said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
But as you were breaking that down, the 8-week summer intensive.
Really, Parkinson?
The 8
Let's
week.
keep him off. Let's keep him off track. You see, that's what
So-
I heard 8-week summer intensive. I don't know
Yes.
what you're talking about over
So
there.
our
Joe.
8-week summer intensive to speak to the decline, but the better student. In our 8-week summer intensive, we have educators that come to our program. Now it was intended for the high school kids. The teachers are coming to the program so that they can have another income,
Smart.
and it helps them transition into a different career. This summer, in our 8-week summer intensive, we have 3 nurses.
Oh, wow.
They have enrolled into our program.
That's good.
So we don't just get people that just, I do hair. Like we've had engineers, doctors, attorneys, teachers, nurses, all doctorate, people that carry their doctorate, right? They have their doctorate degree. They've been through the Institute of Beauty and they are now licensed.
Yeah, because like you said, you might need another form of income.
Yeah.
Multiple streams is important, especially where we're living.
Speaking of which, earlier today, let me get that cup from Kojak.
Don't
he
get him
needs my
that
help.
because
Let me see
we
that.
already over. He gonna get Red Bull.
Earlier this year, we passed. I think Kojak's getting the all alcohol version of it, right?
Yeah.
All right, mix it up. But this part won't be in the edited video, y'all. We got a little mixology happening here. But earlier this year, at the Tennessee legislature, we passed a bill that said that instructed TASER, which is Tennessee Advisory Commission on Intergovernmental Relations. Y'all say that 3 times after a painkiller. We passed a bill though that instructed TASER to do an economic impact study on the cosmetology and barbering industry as a whole, and that's everything, right? Including cosmetology, if you're a stylist, natural hair, lashing, every profession in the cosmetology industry, and the retail, online, and everything, right? Because the point I'm trying to get at in passing that legislation is to show our state how important this industry is to our state, right? And the amount of economic impact that it provides to the state, and which will then get them to understand, look, we need to put everything in place that we can to incentivize our Tennesseans to get into this profession, right? And my goal, and I've stated this many times, is to make the state of Tennessee the natural hair capital of the world, right? And the center for natural hair, with the states, but specifically in Memphis, right? And so we're moving in that space. But I was saying that to say, tell people how big financially this industry is, specifically black hair, natural hair.
That's right. So this is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Billion. You said billion.
Multi-billion-dollar industry,
Yes.
And African American women and men are the biggest consumers. No one gets their hair done. No other male gets their hair cut more than a black man.
Sure, I believe that. Trust me, they like
right. Because your husband is a barber.
Yeah, and they like queens around here. They come every week. I be like, damn.
Sometimes I don't know if your husband told you this. They do a pit stop for a lineup. They get that line.
And don't let have no braids or nothing.
Okay,
they some queens.
But yeah, no one get when we're teaching. When we're teaching the Tennessee State, the foster classes for the state of Tennessee, we have a lot of Caucasian families that have, little black boys and little black girls. And they don't know what to do, right? And they don't know that you have to take this little boy to the barbershop every week or every 2 weeks. So they're taking them every 6 weeks like they do, little Bradley. Okay. Yeah, so they don't know.
Little Tom.
Fun fact though, in one of our classes, we had a black man and woman and wife. They had 2 white kids, and they said, "Look, we don't know what to do either. Y'all, little baby bangs was greased down to her head. Little boy had a boosty. Little boy had a boosty face."
You helped him out.
Yeah. So we just had to get them to understand
cultural differences, boy.
At least they want to understand and knew.
They do.
Yes.
And the parents were crying out like, we do everything. We watch the YouTube videos. We buy all the products. We shampoo. We have wash days. And by the time we take her from the bathtub to the bed, it's just shrink back down to her head.
We don't know what to tell me about.
So they put the bow on there, and we be judging them like, why you got that bow on that baby head like that? They done been through all
more
this.
attention to it, right?
But they done been through all the steps that we try to do ourselves, right? And we try to understand ourselves. So yeah,
it's a lot that has gone on, and I know we Angelica's saying we got to wrap this segment up, but it's a lot that has gone on. You think about the Crown Act, right? The Crown Act, shout out to one of my closest friends, former state senator out of California, Holly J. Mitchell, right? Who was the first person to pass the Crown Act, now has gone nationally. And it was her legislation. And, black hair intimidates people. As a Shelby County firefighter, when I was, growing my hair out, they threatened to fire me because I didn't meet that European standard or their expectation of what a standard is, as a firefighter. And I literally had to cut my hair off. And this is pre-Crown Act, or lose my job. Yeah. And it's sad, that we as a people have to go through and deal with things of that nature. You think about the whole DEI thing that's going on right now and the CRT thing that's going on right now too. The fact that we had to make some type of concessions because of how our hair grows out of our head. And you on the front lines of putting them professionals out there to blow it up,
making sure however they want it. And it's
but how important is that culturally though?
Oh, it's very important to teach a skill that we are a gift, right? This is a gift, a talent that we naturally have. Some of us naturally have.
I wish I had it.
That we naturally have to take it and to turn it into an actual marketable skill. and a business that changes the trajectory of their family. Because their mom may have been braiding in the house or the apartment or whatever, and that's all they know, and they think that, oh, this is the ceiling, right? Doing it at the house, and then we break this barrier that they've created in their mind and show them how high they can actually go. I never thought in a million years that me learning how to braid hair, watching my mama, that I would open up a beauty shop. I didn't think that I would be the state representative for cosmetology schools. I never thought that I would have my own school. I never thought that I would be certifying cosmetology and barbering students in Shelby County
professionals.
Yes. And I never thought I would have a program inside of the prison.
Awesome.
Talk about just real quick. Talk about that real quick.
These ladies are actually getting their license to do natural hair before they get their license back to drive or their rights back to vote.
Awesome.
So they're getting the opportunity in prison. Like we tell them, do your time. Don't let your time do you. Right? So you do your time by getting up and you show up for this class every single day without fail. Okay. But we give them an opportunity to turn over a new leaf.
And plus
before they go home.
And plus, shit, you learn what you need to learn in school, and you go get that commissary, and while you're in,
let me tell you something.
Look, braid some hair, man. You got all kind of Susie Q's coming.
Let me tell you something.
You said Susie Q's.
Commissary day is for real in jail, okay? They don't hear nothing you saying. They don't know no work you talking about. They don't want to do no hair. They be like, hey, you know we got commissary day, Mr. Mika. We going home early today, right? Going home early.
But they need to be doing hair. But they need to be doing hair because you get everybody else commissary.
They gotta get their commissary though.
You get everybody else commissary.
They already did the hair, so they gotta collect their commissary.
Got See, they tell you I'm not.
They gotta go collect, so they gotta get there before it's too late.
But listen. Just one quick success story of the Institute of Beauty, and then tell them how to get in touch with you.
So I'm not just saying this because I'm here with you all.
So that's the disclaimer, y'all.
Yes, that's the disclaimer.
Right.
He's out looked up.
Yes.
Right. And it's the lashes for me. It's the batting of the eyes.
How much did you say?
But Kirsten is definitely our success story.
Oh, that's so nice.
Look,
I'm about to tear up.
That man was so proud. His chest getting big.
I'm about to tear up.
He said like this.
Kirsten is actually our alumni spotlight
for
May.
Look at him.
Really?
We're gonna call right now. Call on the phone. Call on
man, look.
Call on
we should call her. Yeah, we should call her. You want to call her? We should call her though. We should call her.
She's actually our alumni spotlight. But Kirsten came in. She dominated the class. Like everything that we taught her, she took it in. She didn't fight us. She just said, "Okay, Mika. If I tell her, even if she don't like it, okay, Mika, she'll do it because she wants the cinnamon rolls." But
is that the reward? Is that the reward? The cinnamon rolls.
But Kirsten came in at 16.
Yeah.
She went and took her exam. She has her license, not her state certification, but her license. She's a licensed natural hairstylist, right? Kirsten came in, y'all. Her dad wouldn't let her work during school time. She had only work on the weekend.
Right.
She was 6:00 a.m. I'm getting a notification, the door opening. Kirsten in there doing all her clients on the weekends. Turn around. She made it through that 11th grade year because she was going to 11th grade. She worked that entire summer.
Yeah. She sure did.
Let me tell y'all how Kirsten went back to school when it was 12th grade. When it was time to go to 12th grade, Kirsten had made so much money. Let me tell y'all, Kirsten came in the shop after school. She had a new wig on. It wasn't no Amazon wig. I'm talking about. Do you hear me? I'm talking about
man.
Her real wig. Okay, she got had a Louis Vuitton fanny pack on, her little Louis Vuitton backpack, had on her Yeezy slide.
Sure.
I said, you're making some money, huh?
Right.
Okay. Kirsten buy us gifts at the shop.
Right.
We come in, we got no little bargain hunt, no Ross.
Yeah. Hey, now going too far now. Bargain hunt.
Black owned luxury brand products.
Yeah.
She bringing us purses, back everything.
Yeah.
Kirsten is definitely, and she's from 16 to 20.
Yeah.
She's been with us from 16 to 20 years
old.
He
doesn't make him so proud. He about to cry now.
I live it.
And not only did she applies everything that we teach her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that pays off apparently.
Yeah.
Listen,
You know,
please.
she used to make me watch this doggone YouTube show, De'Ara and Ken. And it used to irritate the shit out of me because they loud, right?
Yeah.
And to me, they weren't talking about nothing. But Kirsten, apparently listen to me every day, and she turned it up as loud as she could in our dining room. So when she's eating, she's sitting there looking at De'Ara and Ken. I got to look at De'Ara and Ken, right? De'Ara and Ken were social media phenoms, right? And living in a penthouse in Atlanta from their social media stuff, and they, doing all of the affiliate marketing. Only thing they would do on this show is go like to Target and buy cake mix because De'Ara said I'm gonna make a cake, and then they sell all the cake mix and the mixes and all that stuff on their social media, making a killing.
Yeah.
Right. Fast forward to Kirsten. I think she was 19 or she might have been 19 last year. Kirsten said, "Dad," calls me and said, "Dad, guess who's in my chair?" I said, "Who?" Guess. I don't know who. President Obama, right? I don't know, right? De'Ara.
What?
I said, De'Ara who?
Come on.
She said, De'Ara, Dad. I said, De'Ara who? De'Ara and Ken, Dad. I said, wait. De'Ara and Ken?
Yes.
She said, yes, De'Ara. De'Ara, Kirsten did not know her. She was just the biggest fan, right? And De'Ara saw, and this is the new model, post your shit on Instagram. That's where the appointments come from. It ain't in the appointment book no more. It's on Instagram. De'Ara saw Kirsten's work, flew in from LA, got her hair done, went back to LA. 2 weeks later, came back and got it done again. That's what's happening.
Yep.
And this is the product that is coming out of the first natural hair school in the state of Tennessee, the Institute of Beauty.
Yes.
Yeah, man, give it up for the Institute of Beauty, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, baby. Yeah, and again, your role, you cannot minimize the role that you play in the lives and in the generations of the lives that come out of your school. So we're truly thankful for you and incredibly proud. Don't cry. She's gonna cry when she get in the car.
You about to cry.
I know, right?
You want to call her?
But how do they get in touch? How do they sign up for the summer intensive? Give them,
So we have the 8-week summer intensive, but we also have the Braiders boot camp for the kids, 10 to 16 years old. So if they're not eligible to get the license, they can definitely.
I need to come with this 6 and 10-year-old.
Hey, come on!
I didn't know how to basic braid.
Seriously,
I'm
we
serious.
have some parents that come in to learn how to braid.
I am coming.
But we have a weekly braid camp for the kids. But you can reach us on our website, www.iobtn.com, or you can reach us at 273-7023. All of our social media, the Institute of Beauty.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. So look, that'll be in our video descriptions. Also, that link will be there. So y'all make sure y'all hit them up. Give it up for the Institute of Beauty. Tamika Leach Turner in the building, baby.
I'm taking you some braiding lessons.
Yeah, that's what's up. And we did have a comment though, Angelica, that said, Angelica Woods, your hair is so pretty.
She's told me that online.
And it is pretty. Your hair is gorgeous. It really is. So y'all once again,
hey,
look, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We got Melanie Salisbury. She is the first
and my best friend.
First in the state to open up a lashing academy and a skin academy. So don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
I'm coming to learn how to braid.
Great job.
So he be out here running overtime. He be running.
He's almost 2 hours.
I'm the one that got to edit it.
Yeah, you want to keep talking?
Yeah, we got one more coming. Yeah,
tell him I'm on bed. He don't know what it's like. You got a baby.
You got 15 seconds. Come on, Mel. Gotta get down. About 10 minutes before I can make it.
Okay, Angelica. I got you.
They paid me already.
You gotta pay DJ.
What?
You gotta pay DJ.
Hey, welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. Today we are talking about the economy. The economy of black hair and black beauty in the United States. And look, I'm gonna have to do that whole intro again because Angelica been singing through the whole damn intro.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I would say thank you, thank you, Rico, for going to Angelica, who's over here screaming bloody murder for about time, but won't let me get through the intro.
It don't matter no more.
Good. She good, Coach. Yeah. I'll wait. Okay. Look, thank you. Thank you. Y'all, first of all, let me welcome everybody back. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. We are talking about the economy of Black beauty and Black hair. Yeah. And we got guests on the show that are here to talk about that, and also we're talking through the Trump tariffs and everything that's going on. Y'all give it up for my lovely co-host who's over there complaining about time, Angelica Jelly Woods.
Sun up to sundown, picking that cotton.
Hey.
Sun up to sundown. Hey. Look at the slave master over there, the happiest.
Where the tambourine at? Somebody's supposed to be on the tambourine on that. Angelica, you are from Iowa. You don't even know Negro spirituals. Y'all didn't do that up there in Iowa.
I ain't gonna entertain.
Right. Thank you.
You ain't never been to Iowa, okay? So now, once you go, then you can see.
Then I'm gonna see. People
in Iowa, in my hometown, was protesting Trump today.
Here we go. There's white liberals protesting Trump, right? Yeah, come on, Kojak, help us, Kojak. Y'all give it up for my DJ. That's my DJ, DJ Kojak in the building. Yeah, DJ Kojak. Hey, DJ Kojak. I got a task for you.
Oh, Lord.
I want you to scratch it up 4 times for our next guest with a backspin with spirit. Let's see. Here we go.
Oh, he put some speed on that. You put some speed on that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you. Hey, y'all, let me ask y'all a question. Angelica, you too. Mel, this question is for you. Step up to your mic.
Oh, God.
Did you hear that scratch?
I did.
Whoa, that's what I'm talking about.
I never took you as a lion, guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Look,
she felt it. You really lying. What's your sign? You really? She gonna make it.
Hey, Mel pulled up with her smart glasses on. She said I'm smart. And you see it. You see it. Hey, Mel. First of all, thank you for being here. Yeah, we're incredibly proud of you. We love having people that are first in the state, right?
For coming back, not being here, coming back again.
Well, coming back again, and she is a first in the state. Hey, as a matter of fact, I just a quick and y'all, the video clip will be in there. But Mel was the sponsor when we had our most viral video clip, and y'all, here's that clip.
Oh, I'm scared.
Okay, and by the magic of television, y'all saw the clip. Okay, so right, yeah, and so that clip was sponsored by the Memphis Skin Academy, with our boy Michael Collier, man.
Oh,
and he look, and it was the most viral video clip for Michael Collier.
It was
right.
We talked about on his show.
We went on his show to talk about the viral video clip. Yeah. That's I think probably right at about 2 million views now. So and so
she's like, that was a good reach. Wow.
Yeah. But hey Mel, before we get deep into the interview, tell everybody what first you have accomplished in the state of Tennessee.
Okay, so the Memphis Skin Academy, we were the first eyelash specialty school, but we were one of the first real operating aesthetics specialty school in Tennessee as well.
Man, y'all give it up for that, man. We're making history in here with Black folk.
Yeah, everybody.
Yes, indeed. And so, and how important is your role in creating these new professionals, to our communities?
The thing is just bringing back the integrity to the business and making sure that there's a need out here for the people to actually gain good employment. So one of the things is we make sure we bring the students through. We're not teaching them any kind of shortcuts, but we're making sure that they're doing the correct things the correct way, making sure we put in jobs out here because that's a need. And also we even, believe it or not, I'm gonna go ahead and say it because you say this around the show. We've actually been having a lot of the Latino community has been in this industry. So we've been getting a lot of them. So we've been putting them in the industry with different skill sets. Mainly this eyelash piece. That's a big one.
Speaking of eyelash, take them glasses off. Let them folks see them lashes. I'm looking at them lashes, right? Like
kind of like I think it's on because you
can see.
Look at that, man.
Okay, lash.
Okay.
I'm gonna blink for you. I ain't got none, but hey. Yeah, okay, give me some.
Okay. Kojak wanted some lashes too, so can y'all do male lashes?
Don't do Kojak. Look, Kojak face.
The eyelashes, we can also give them a facial. We got a lot of beards in the house.
Yeah.
No, I came and got a facial.
I got a facial too.
Yeah,
amazing. From a student in class, amazing. Like, they weren't even all the way done. Yeah, they weren't even all done. And my Kojak was. I was in my Kojak.
My Kojak, damn.
My
Right.
facial was amazing. Okay, and
Mine
they
was too.
were students like in training still, and it was amazing. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was
What's
real
what's her Instagram? Is it Money Making Maya? Maya did my
Maya
facial.
Monet.
Maya Monet.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Maya
Maya Monet.
Monet.
Maya Monet did my facial, and it was absolutely amazing. And she has graduated, has she not?
She has. She's actually she's one of the ones that just kind of goes back to the point you just made.
Uh-huh.
She's already come through the school. She's graduated. She's already out here in her own suite making money. And these girls are doing it. They come back up to the school, y'all. They driving in Benzes and everything else.
Man,
That's true.
Hey, y'all
Man.
are better than me.
Yeah.
Man, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about, man.
so-
You know, but how big is the lashing business?
Oh, that is that's a $1 billion industry.
Mm, yeah.
Everybody, all ethnicities, they actually get some form of
Everybody, yeah.
lash extensions, enhancements, or what have you. We're working on now getting them to instead of actually attaching the lashes, we also actually promote growing your own natural lashes.
Okay.
So that's it's $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know,
Serious.
and it's so this is something that came up. So this I'm not bragging because
Sure.
you know the friends that I have,
Sure.
when I talk about accomplishments, it's not considered bragging.
Yeah.
It is considered accomplishments.
It's the
And
truth.
we-
It's the
and we
truth. You
support each
got
other.
receipts.
So
Please, it's
and I
true.
and I do, but I passed the bill in Tennessee that allowed for the first school for lashing, and because I understood how big this industry is, right, and the industry is a $1 billion+ industry and growing, and expected to have, I think it was 21% growth annually.
Mhm.
Did y'all hear what I just said?
Yeah.
You know, so we're talking about an emerging industry, right, where there's a lot of money, and opportunity in this industry, and with you being the first school in the state of Tennessee to open up and train these professionals,
Mhm.
I think it's vitally important to note, right? These schools, the Memphis Skin Academy and the Institute of Beauty, they're not just training these individuals to be licensed professionals. They do that.
Mhm.
But a lot of these individuals go on to become business owners, and that's key to me.
Yes.
So these are the business that Melanie owns is a business that breeds not just professionals, but it breeds business owners, and that's important because we have to have those business owners who will in turn hire people that look like us.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have a
And so
question
how
for
you
you.
feel about that? How do you feel to be that person?
Oh, I love it. I'm elated. I mean, and it's so much so with this, also with the educational pieces. Not only am I just reaching the city of Memphis, but with our hybrid educational program, we have students as far as Knoxville, Tennessee. So again, we're teaching those outside of the regional area, but we're also helping them gain businesses within Tennessee as a whole. And it's also trickled down because I'm getting more so in the sector of like the nonprofit route where we're taking on the our city is in dire need of help. Everybody is all hands on deck. So what we've been doing with our spring program, we're doing it in the summer too. The same eyelash piece, the same facial skills that we transfer over to the adult learners. We've been taking the youth, the teenagers, the teenage girls, ages 13 to 19 is what we have them, and as early as 14 we can get them licensed in some of these things. So we're starting them early.
But do you have a class kind of over spring break?
We do.
Yeah.
So we
I
have
seen
one
on-
spring break,
yeah,
and we'll
I
have
seen
one.
them.
It was such we had a great turnout,
I seen it
high
online.
demand, so we're going to do it again in the summer.
You got a big group. I seen you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
follow you on social
Oh, yeah.
media. And there was a lot of little girls,
Oh, yeah.
some young girls there.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
We had a time.
So, but you're a licensed cosmetologist.
I am.
Am I correct? Right.
I
right.
am.
And you actually have a full college school also,
Full
right?
college school. We teach everything besides barbering, but what we specialize in, what we're not named or known for is the Memphis Skin Academy. We opened that at the end of 2017 for small students, just skincare only. But in 2019, we did the full college, so we can teach everything, even instructor programs. So when these girls come through to get these license and lashes, get the license in aesthetics.
Mhm.
They also come back because now we want to put them in a position to teach.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's
amazing.
all about adding on to that tool
Yeah.
belt, like getting them the
Yeah.
instructor piece, getting help. And not only what our school is different with too, I want to add this in there. We teach the necessary curriculum, but that business component, we teach that. Financial literacy, we teach
that's
that.
key.
That is right.
Yes.
Because everybody can go open up a business, but can that business sustain?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
So that's key.
Yeah.
That's critical.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people need to teach that. And that's kind of what we were just chatting about in the green room a minute ago.
You just got the hum from Angelica, so that's approval.
Yeah, I said, because people teach you how to get the bag, not to
Right.
keep it. So, because
Yeah.
people get it, but you ain't got nothing to show
And then
for
y'all
it.
not getting it the right way. So we're not going to talk about the
oh, yeah,
fraud.
we ain't going
Right.
And how Navy Federal, everybody best friend. We not
Right.
talking about that.
Oh, Lord, that's another show.
That's another show.
Right. Take
Yeah,
it
we
down.
gotta
Rabbit
go
hole.
grab her for real. Yeah,
Right.
I'll call you on. Yeah, call you on that.
So let me ask you. So let's talk about this. So full cosmetology.
Right.
That's every specialty, right?
Right.
That's the name them.
So, with a full cosmetology license, you can do everything. You're governed to do work in the hair sector, hair, skin, and nails.
Okay.
So that's a 1,500-hour curriculum piece. So of course you go to school a little longer,
Right.
but you can work in all sectors.
Right. And speaking of manicuring, you know, that's we were talking about industries that's owned by other cultures or that's dominated by other cultures. And I think we got a little video. Rico, run that video.
I'm scared.
You think you are that? I quite literally am all of that. I'm crazy. I'm brilliant. I'm anointed.
Your ass going to jail today. And I got lupus, so I want everybody to record this. Just because I want him to do my nails. Look at what he did. I already got lupus. So everybody, all because I didn't want him to do my nails no more.
I'm going.
It's okay.
Hold it very hard. Anh Khôi chạy về đi Khôi. Đi sau ơi, đi sau ơi.
Rồi, anh để him go. I'm get you. See that? See my shit. I'm gonna get him. Come, go to the car. Go. I need you to go to the car and stay there. Okay, go. Stay. There is none. I just don't know.
Okay, so that was
Wow. Man, listen, and this
crazy.
is what
That's crazy.
this is what I'm talking about, though. You know, the importance of us, you know, owning our own industries, right? You know, you talk about black hair. You know, you look at, you know, we had Chastity Monroe on a different segment. Excuse me, and you know her getting into, you know, the beauty supply world where, you know, it's dominated by Asians, right? And if black, and I'm talking about black hair, right? And, you know, we look at, you know, people, you know, that are going to, you know, these shops, right? Where they and their culture is not respected, right? And let me just lastly qualify this part. We talked about, you know, with everything that Donald Trump is doing and getting rid of DEI, you know, critical race theory and all of this stuff. And we said, Angelica stole it from me earlier, that, you know, all of this stuff is going to force us back to community, right? And back to, you know, spending money with the businesses in our community and circulating our dollar. And so you look at that video, how important is that? You know, you're training those professionals to come out into this space. How important is it?
It's very important. Like looking at that video, I mean, quite naturally, when we go into these places, I mean, namely like the Asian salon, I'm just going to put that one out there. They don't see us as a person. They see us as a dollar. So like if we stop patronizing those businesses, they won't have a business. So we have to start doing more with each other. And again, that's probably another topic for another day on like, how do we build that community? Because we can talk about it all day, but we still go and give them our dollars.
Come on, say that.
But
We'll
on the
have a
flip side with
sidebar.
us, and then we probably do the benediction after this one. at some point too, as
Another
a culture, we
advantage.
got to learn how to take care of each other.
Ooh, thank you,
And
because
stop,
just
yeah,
or feel like we entitled.
I
'Cause the
want to
black
do
dollar,
business
though.
with you because you black, but
But
sometimes it's
we
hard to do
thank-
business.
You
with
make it
you
real
because you
hard.
black.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's something.
President Lamar, he was on the show,
Yeah.
right, and we talked about that, and he was like, there's an expectation, that black businesses, provide, the services that's needed, but also, I think Kojak brought up the point is that maybe do we have a higher level of expectation for black businesses than we do for the white businesses? Like for instance, McDonald's ice cream machine ain't never working,
right?
But do we go hard on McDonald's like we do for the black business that may have a customer service issue?
One issue.
Yeah. Yeah,
and that's sad.
And what's our median space? Where do we create the where do the graphs meet? Where do the lines on the graph meet? Right, where we're the same level of expectation that we ask for the black businesses is the same level of how hard we go in on the white businesses, because white businesses they do shit, but I think they just hide it better.
Yeah,
and they get a pass. I think they get a pass. When things are not going right in their businesses.
And I think what I see from that too is just from my experience, a lot of times too, it's all in your response. A lot of time when there's an issue, I can just to your point, you may want to pop off and snap back. And I know that's what a lot of we have a problem with doing, because we feel like, why you want to come down on the black business? Why you want to come down on the black business? Whereas that white business is going to give you this whole chat GPT spiel, and it's going to be doctored up nice. So it's also in the delivery. But I feel like when we have a better communication with consumer black business owner, we can do business better. So
Melanie, Angelica,
Wall Street.
Angelica actually had a question that she doesn't want to ask because she's trying to run out of here. But what in this space that we're in with the with the Trump tariffs and everything's getting more expensive, what's a tip that you can give?
No, actually, the way I wanted to ask it is because but I never got a chance.
Hey, Kojak, she already trying to get you to gang up on me over there. She's showing
I'm trying to get Kojak the green light to dot that note. I'm trying to help him out, but. He said to me, but no, you made reference to back to teaching natural eye, the extension of natural eyes. You know what I mean? Lashes, like lashes,
right?
To grow your lashes. I don't know the technical yet. To grow your lashes. So, what tips can you give to people who may, due to tariffs, that can't afford to get, because they could be expensive. Like you get the individuals or you get the strip. There's different pricing. Like, what tips can you give to people? Because I know one of those is grow your own lashes.
Yeah, go to Home Depot and get you some fertilizer.
Oh, God.
Put some fertilizer on them shits.
And that is why, because we understand the tariff is going to be hard to get some of these products, and in the beauty industry, a lot of our stuff is coming from China and places like that. So then you have to be creative. Do you fold and just shut your business down, or do you have to go to the drawing board and think about, okay, what can I do to sustain? Well, guess what? You still have eyelashes, but they may not be as long because you've been wearing those extensions. Now we got to go the organic route. And I'm gonna go even deeper. This is where gardening and all of that come in place, because now you can start doing your own herbs and doing your own botanicals, and you make these natural products from your backyard, do your processing, and then you sell this to the consumer, and now they can grow their own lashes, grow their own hair, grow their own nails.
Does castor oil work?
There you go.
Yeah. Castor oil.
So now we got to just kind of almost take it back to the basics.
They can come get them organics from you, though, can't they?
Yeah,
So you ready? You ready then? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
She ready.
Yeah. So Mel, how can everybody get in touch with you, and how can they enroll in your spring and summer intensives and things you got going on?
Sure. So right now, if you're looking at if you're an adult, you're looking at enrolling in school, we do have a class starting on Tuesday, May the 20th. This is going to be for cosmetology, for aesthetics, eyelash specialty instructor course. If you're looking for something for your teenager to do this summer, we'll put the dates out there on our website. You can follow us at on Facebook under the Memphis Skin Academy. We're also on Instagram under the Memphis Skin, And we also have a website, www.thememphisskinacademy.com. We'll have updates there, but we do have a teen intensive camp coming up. And we're also going to have a lock-in. The girls told me they wanted to do a sleepover lock-in.
Oh, that's dope.
We're doing the skill set, but we also grabbing these babies and we're pouring into them. They need a mentor. So that's what we're doing.
That's awesome.
And if we have sponsors out there, we welcome them as well, because again, we can't do it alone. It takes a village, and now we need. I'm
going to support. So
Appreciate
I'm
it.
going to support from a
Thank
sponsorship standpoint too. So.
Thank
Man, y'all give it up for Melanie Salisbury in the building, Memphis Skin Academy, baby. Yeah. So look, thank y'all for watching. You've been watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Make sure you tune in and make sure you share the show. Share the show. This is good information.
It is. Wow.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project, and we will see you next week.
All right.
Mother's Day weekend.
Is it?
Yes.
What is it? Mother's Day weekend?
Yeah, next weekend.
Yeah, stream in. Yeah. Hey, let's get pictures real quick.
Kojak ain't gonna make it, Parkinson. No, he got a paid gig.
They already paid me for. They're gonna be like, "That's that black stuff." That's why they don't shop for me again. It's gonna be an excuse. Something like, well,
He ain't gonna make it.
Yeah,
I think you fine.
When you start representing Kojak.
He only got 15 minutes to make it downtown.
Where we gotta go on this board
all
right
this
here?
traffic, yeah, we're gonna be on this side.
Memphis, Missy Elliott down there.
It's the painkiller.
It's Missy Elliott down there. He's supposed to DJ.
Not today.
It don't matter. Somebody pour down there. He paid.
Come on. Oh, boy. I'm telling you, boy. Haters gonna hate, boy.
I ain't no hate.
Where your phone at? Oh, we ain't got no Josh. We ain't got no Nicole.
Come on, Rico, can you take this picture real fast with sugar on top?
Hey, the Instagram stop. We're gonna take this with
We can filter it. Too bad, Miss Joker.
don't make us look like a
I'm
man.
mad. Y'all ready?
You're making us look like a man.
I'm gonna get a girl picture anyways first. Y'all ready? One. They ain't no filter.
Yeah, that's
One,
just
two,
straight up and down the
sideways.
One, two, three. Can I see that? Why are you blurry, man?
Because you made them look like a
My
man.
whole
Come on,
face.
y'all. Come on.
I ain't put no mannequin on.
That's good. Angelica,
We're gonna do
on the painkiller.
No, I'm not.
Oh, can you get it?
I want Red Bull trying to make it.
I need y'all to squeeze in close.
Act like y'all like each other. Just act like.
Let me see my when I suck my stomach in.
Y'all need to stop. Check them out.
Nice to meet y'all.
Okay, Rico, you might be high.
Individual shots with y'all. Okay, Rico, can you get some individual shots for me?
Can I get a girl something first?
I know, right?
I gotta get my baby. Sorry, y'all. Come on, Chaz. Come on now. I gotta filter.
You know, I
Kojak,
I was rooting for you. Now your ass is over here. You need to go where you supposed to go.
You look like a mannequin, Kojak.
One,
I don't want to get in that one.
that's cute. All right. Get her.
Come on, man. Let's get
I
this.
love you, guys.
Rico,
Love you
give me
too.
this one.
Pick up myself. Now, Kojak, I did all that. Get your ass up out of here.
I'm trying to keep it in the crowd.
So cute.
One more time.
Chaz, that painkiller get you?
Come on.
No,
Mm-hmm.
not yet.
That's what you had.
That's
Yeah.
laundry.
I don't know.
Y'all ready?
But you know, I'm a dark drinker, so
Me
I
too.
like dark. Well, you know, hey,
You ready to take a picture?
you know,
I
me on the
already-
side.
Rico pressing hard like a mother.
I'm still mad about Houston, though. They best side.
You'll see it change right there.
Oh, okay.
I know.
They're androids.
Hey, best phone, baby, best pictures.
All
Rico
right.
pressing hard like a motherfucker. Come on. Look, the phone doing this.
I see your regular thing screen with these.
Oh shit, it shouldn't be. Oh shit.
Uh-oh,
it's
you
dead.
got
Yeah,
that.
get your iPhone.
Hey, get that iPad. Let me get that iPad real quick. Where your phone at?
I got you. I'll just send it to
Okay,
you.
send it to us. Let me wipe that lens off real quick. Your mind, a little curl juice on it. We are talking beauty, though. We're talking beauty. You know, that's why I'm like,
Oh, let me put my flashlight on. Put my camera on.
yes.
See 'em right there. They good?
Send them to
Not
me.
that one, but
Send them all to me, Rico, and I'll send them to you.
Okay.
All right, y'all want to get a picture together? Y'all three?
Come on, man.
Okay.
Are you right there? My bad.
I am.
Gee whiz.
All right.
All right, babe. See you later. You good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do you mind
You
going
want-
up again?
Yeah, let me wear a curl, do something.
Y'all ready?
Bye, ladies.
Everybody right here, look at me, look at me.
Bye.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope as shit. One more time right here. Oh, that's great. That's a great shot. All right, y'all. I need that too. I need that.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's take a
All
That's right. That's good. We can
I
work
can't
that.
see, but I
All
can't.
right.
I ain't gonna be able to see till tomorrow.
Get my phone.
I don't know my purse and everything back here.
Rico, they abandoned us again, Rico.
Man, it's all good. Man, y'all was eating that bitch was smelling good.
Man, that food is good. You get you some fish?
I didn't see the fish yet.
It's on the right side. Okay. Sound was good and everything?
I had two. I mean, not two. I had Kojak to check. He said it was good.
Okay, good.
Okay, I just sent them all to you.
Okay, thanks. Cool.
This one right here. Yeah, let me get this put it in this bag.
All right, this is beautiful. I thank y'all for your hospitality.
No, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us.
All right, I will.
Thank you. And the edited version, y'all share the edited version be up. What's your last?
I'm laughing at Carlos.
What she said?
I'm supposed to be doing Grace's hair right now.
Oh, okay.
You know, so we,
Bye, thank you.
All right,
This was great.
bye, Touche.
My bad. Thank y'all again. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Yo.